So the current idea behind the stream is I hand-picked like 36 cards, but each one of them only has like a few lines of text at most. So each one, they shouldn't be too hard to go through each individual one. And every so often, we're going to have a punishment to whether DuelLogs gets enough right or wrong.
Yeah, so 3 rounds of 12. Okay, so first up, let's go over what we have here. This girl called the Skull Witch Nemian. She's a grade 1. And wait, do all cards have shield on them, or is it just special ones?
Nope, all cards with 3s have shield on them.
Oh, everything but grade 3s?
Pretty much.
Okay, and also in 0, every time the Vanguard was attacked, it gained 5,000 attack. Is that a rule?
No, that's a 0 thing, just to prevent you from getting like snowballed out of the game.
Okay. Tier 1, let's go over its effect. It's a activatable effect. It can be used from the rear guard. Continuous. Is that what that says?
Cost.
Oh,
cost. It cost. It just says cost right there.
Okay, so the cost is just to set this unit sideways. Is there like a term for that? Because in Magic it's called tapping.
In Vanguard it's called rest.
Okay, so you rest the unit. Search your deck for up to one 5,000 card. Call it to an open rear guard and shuffle your deck. This ability may be used by a card with the same card name once a turn. So is that like a hard once per turn in Vanguard terms?
Yes, this is a hard once per turn.
Okay. So instead of this card providing a boost or attacking, you can search out a card from your deck that has 5,000 attack.
Exactly, 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 exactly. That seems really good. This is a good card.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's fucking ridiculous. So this card, so on release it was like pretty strong, but then it just kept getting better because they kept expanding the 5,000 power toolbox. And then finally, this card peaked at like $130 each for like a tier 0 deck.
Whoa, it's because of the art, right?
No, it's a tier 0 deck, and it was like also like future proofed, so like it's just always good.
Yeah, because it's 5,000 attack. Imagine. Like that's too generic. It is specifically for 5,000. But it's kind of like how machine duplication works on 500 or less machines, so they have to print machines with more than 500 attack, otherwise they're broken because of that one piece of support.
Yeah, and they keep printing good 5,000 power cards. Like there's this one that's like, oh hey, when this card is summoned, you pay a cost, draw a card, and it's 5,000 power, specifically meant to combo with this.
Easy peasy. Plus one.
All right, chat. Don't help him on these because I want to see him. I want to see him squirm.
Well, I ignore chat whenever I'm reading these.
Fair enough.
So, Commander Laurel, another grade 1 auto from the rear guard. Choose 4 of your Dimension Police rear guards and rest them. When your Dimension Police Vanguard attacks, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one of your Vanguards and upturn it. Stand it. Okay, this one is difficult because upstanding your Vanguard seems like a good thing because they're the ones who have the drive check, so you get to draw more cards if they get to attack again. And you do put 4 of your dudes face down, but you can still have the guy who's boosting your Vanguard up.
Just a reminder that this also has to hit, so it doesn't even do anything if your Vanguard gets blocked. This doesn't even do anything.
4 of them for just a second attack on your Vanguard. Man, that can go either way. That could be bad or good. That's a super high cost, though, for just a second attack. But your Vanguard attacking again is a good thing. Okay, well, I'm going to say probably the cost is too high. It's probably not very good.
This card is limited at 1 because holy hell, this effect is good.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing. You can just... It doesn't cost any...
I said it could go either way.
That's fair. It doesn't cost any hard resources, and in Vanguard, especially Dimension Police, your numbers can hit fucking stupid for like the whole turn. Like you can have like a dude that swings for like 69,000 and 6 criticals, and if that hits, well, I mean, if your opponent's dead, but even if it only has like 1 or 2, you still just get the drive checks if it hits. Because remember, if a grade 3 hits, you get 3 checks. And then there are some cards that give your cards more checks. And then there's also just ways to plus specifically to combo with this card, where you just call a bunch of like low-powered idiots. This is one of the first cards that they had to put on the limited list when they updated the rules in like 2017, 2018, because they knew it was going to be powerful with the most recent support.
You know, you have to put down 4 cards? Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You could just call them and like, you can still use their effects.
Okay, so Rearguard or Vanguard, you can rest this unit if you have Dark or Regular's Vanguard. You can, what is that one?
Soul Charge 1.
Soul Charge,
So
so flip one of your
Yeah.
damage things face down?
No, that puts one of your cards in the deck under the Vanguard. This is like this is the pre-PSCT symbol.
Puts 1 card in your deck under the Vanguard?
Yeah, kind of like remember the Xyz materials, the soul?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was cards that did that added them. I thought they all just kind of removed.
No. There are cards that go both.
So it can be used in the Rearguard too. You just put it down, you get to add an extra material from your deck.
Yeah, but you are losing a card on... I mean...
He's grade 1. That's nothing.
Yeah.
So, depending on how valuable attaching more cards to your Vanguard is, this is potentially really good. And it's a grade 1. So you can play this like immediately and start filling them up. So like every turn you can just rest them and then get another one. This seems good.
Yeah, this card's pretty good. It wasn't good initially, but it got better with time.
Because it probably had better effects to detach, right?
Yeah. And also it was free.
It was free?
Because resting this card, you could just spam a bunch of these on the field. And then that's just free soul.
Power crept? Oh, okay.
It's not power crept. This is not power crept at all.
Well, this is the least amount of text I've seen on a grade 3 so far. Okay, so grade 3, Angelic Wise Man. Auto, Rearguard, or Vanguard. You can... Is that like detached 3?
Yeah. Basically, yes.
Whoa, that's a lot. When this unit attacks, if you have a Genesis Vanguard, you may pay the cost. And if you do, this card gets plus 4,000 attack until the end of the battle. That's it. This card's garbage, isn't it?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No, this card's fucking amazing.
It gets 4,000 for detaching 3?
Okay, so here's an easy one. So what this card does, it's not so much the power gain, it's the fact that it detaches Soul Blast in the battle phase. So there's a card in Vanguard that when you use Soul Blast, when it comes from the soul to the drop zone, you can untap a Rearguard, stand it in the middle of the battle phase.
Oh my god.
So when you basically establish a loop where you detach the 2 cards, you have this card stand up, and then you put them back into the deck, and then you put them back into your soul again.
This card on its own is bad, though, right?
No, correct. But this card, in combo with other cards, is hilariously broken. Because you would just keep attacking forever until your opponent ran out of shield and just died.
Okay. So it's kind of like Cannon Soldier. If you look at his effect by himself, garbage card. However, he's used in ridiculous combos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, good card.
Next up, we have... Oh, I should have made a scoreboard for getting wrong answers. Okay, so we have another grade 1, Calamity Tower Wyvern. Auto, detach 2. What's detach in Vanguard called?
Soul Blast.
So you Soul Blast 2. When this unit is placed in the Rearguard, if you have a Kagero Vanguard, you may pay the cost, and if you do, draw a card. When this card is placed in the Rearguard, if you have a specific Vanguard, you may Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. That seems like...
It's not that specific. So if it's any card from the Kagero clan, so you see underneath the Wyvern part of its name, there's that red text.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just,
I didn't think it was
as long
a
as you're
specific.
in a Kagero deck.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be too hard to activate. I'm just thinking about like, is that cost worthy? Because the last guy was Soul Blast 3 for garbage effect. This is Soul Blast 2 for a decent effect, but that's still a lot to detach. So I'm going to say, you did say there was like a loops with that, but that was during the damage step.
Mm-hmm.
And this one would have to be like, is there like rulings for, can this card be counted as being placed during the battle phase if it's like set through another card effect?
Yes. That is something you can do.
Okay. So I guess this could also be used with loops too. I'm going to say this card is probably bad.
This card... So I want to point out, for cards, I'm pretty much choosing them at like the points of their relevance. So Calamity Tower Wyvern is in a similar effect, though I've seen some Let's play it now. This card was very good on its like for a long time. So what you would do is, you know the Legion mechanic you mentioned?
Uh-huh.
So basically what you would do is you would ride over your Vanguard and Legion, and then you use this to get rid of them out of your soul. Then you draw a card, and then you put them back into your deck, and you basically establish somewhat of a resource loop. So this card was actually used for quite some time, and even like before that, it was just good because Kagero doesn't care for their soul, like at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just free card draw then.
Yeah, it was free. It would refund resources. Like the soul blast was also important. The act of soul blasting did technically act as like shuffling back resources, just because of how the deck played.
Okay. All right. So that's a wrong one. Let's go into the next one then. Next up, we have Blackwing Swordbreaker, another grade 1. I like grade 1s because they have simple text.
Yeah, I mean, I chose cards with simple text.
Soul Blast 1. When this card is placed on the rear guard from your deck, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, you may pay the cost, and if you do, draw a card. Oh, this is good. If you special summon this card from the deck, just detach 1 to draw a card. Okay, this is a good card.
Yeah, this card was really good for its time. I think this card peaked at like $20 a copy.
$20? Yeah. That doesn't sound too expensive.
I mean, yeah, it was basically a +2 because you'd summon this card from deck and then you just draw a card. It was so good, like even the anime was using it for like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Like,
you said the anime actually like uses competitive cards, right?
Yeah, they do. Like even the anime is like, yeah, I'm just gonna use like 3 of these in one turn.
Next up, we have Reef Banshee. Continuous Sentinel. You may only control up to 4 cards with Continuous Sentinel in a deck. Really? What is Sentinel?
Yeah, so Sentinel is just a way of saying, oh, hey, you can only have 4 of these cards in your deck.
Okay. Auto, this is Soul Blast, not Soul Blast. Counterblast, right?
Correct. So it's 1 damage.
Okay, Counterblast 1. When this card is placed on the
Guardian Circle. So when you guard with this
Guardians. Oh, okay. On the Guardian Circle. Whoa, what is that?
That's 0 shield.
Oh, okay. Let me just continue reading this. When this card is placed on the Guardian from your hand, you may pay the cost. And if you do, all 5 cards on top of your deck to Guardian at tap. You have to tap cards in the Guardian Circle?
It doesn't matter. It's a. I don't know why they chose to be like, yeah. It's like searching. It's like when you're searching Necroz's trap cards. It's like completely pointless.
Okay. So when this card is placed in the Guardian from your hand, you may pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1, and if you do, call 5 cards on top of your deck to the G. So you get 5 cards from the top of your deck into the Guardian Circle. Is that why it has 0?
Yes,
because it just grants a whole bunch of support. Mm-hmm. It costs a Counterblast though.
So this is like, I will give some context. So this is like meant to like be an alternative towards the perfect cards that have to discard a card from their hand to stop the attack. So this one, you don't lose hit advantage, but instead you use a Counterblast. So that
I get you.
Yeah, that was
because it has to be. Wait, where does it use the effect from? Oh no, when it's placed in the. So it has to place itself there anyway, so you still lose a card either way.
Well, yeah, but instead of having to place a card from the hand of the Guardian and then discarding a card on top of it.
Oh.
So this is a -1 from hand. The others were -2.
Gotcha. I didn't know that they literally had a -2.
It's a -2.
So it's supposed to simulate the effects of it. And it also gets rid of a whole bunch of cards at the top of your deck. Gotcha. So I'm going to say that Counterblast 1 requirement, though, seems kind of steep. This is either good or way overcosted. I'll just say this is probably a decent card.
So decent.
Yeah.
So Reef Banshee specifically is probably one of the better ones. However, no, these are not good. And it's not because they Counterblast 1. It's because the random 5 cards at your top of your deck might not even have enough shield.
Oh.
So you might have to end up using cards in your hand anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because only what 2s and belows have shield, right?
So the only reason like Reef Banshee is good just because you could like mill a bunch of cards. Because after you guard with the cards, they go to the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Let me see how many we've gone through so far. 7. Yep. So I've got 3 out of 7 so far. Number 8. Grade 0. So you can start with this one.
You could.
Continuous rear guard effect. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. That's it.
Remember, they're all really short effects.
No, I mean like that's all it does. It just can't be targeted.
Yep, can't be targeted.
And it's a grade 0. What does that matter? That's useless. This is a garbage card.
So, hold on. I need to take a drink of water because this is going to be pretty interesting.
Okay.
This card is good, but not on its own. So this card is, by design, meant to be very deceptively good. Because what you do is you basically come up with a bunch of cards that work when you play them on top of him to basically get really powerful effects. Like a pot of greed on legs, a field wipe, etc. So he
Buff it
himself
up.
is not good. However, he's really good when you put him with other cards.
Is
And
target immunity not like common in
it doesn't
Vanguard?
matter. It's just to keep him on the board so you can save him to use him for other effects.
Oh.
He's basically like, you know how Genix cards require like Genix controller specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's basically kind of like that.
Oh, so there's a lot of cards that work specifically with him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You
so
can
next
tell
up
him-
we have, well, after this first set.
Yeah.
Because we're almost done with this one. So this one is Tetra Baggis. It's another grade 1. I like grade 1s. They're easy to read. Auto. When this unit is placed in the rear guard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast 1, draw a card. Reveal up to 1
Critical
trigger from your hand and put it on the top of your deck. Wait,
So
what's
those
this?
are the ones that when you check them, they give an extra damage to the unit.
Oh, okay. So specific triggers that have extra criticals on it.
Correct.
Okay. Oh,
You
so it
can
allows you
check
to
later
set up
on
a
for your
critical
deck.
trigger. Yeah, you can check it. Oh, that seems good. This is a good card.
Yeah, this card is just no two ways about it. Very good card. This card
Yeah.
was played quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure it's still being played because it just recently got reprinted. Yeah. You would also use it to like stack for cards that like the deer that we covered earlier on that like searches for crits.
Yeah.
And then basically this whole deck revolves around like scrying the top card of your deck and fucking with it.
Okay. So this one was correct.
Good job.
Do, do,
It's
do.
net neutral, but also gives you good advantage.
Okay. All right. So next up, we have Knight of Brawn, Grosney. Okay. So he's a grade 2, auto, G Blast 1.
Generation break.
Oh, Generation Break. Okay. His ability is active if you have 1 or more face-up G units in your
Vanguard.
Vanguard or G zone.
So those are the extra deck cards.
Yeah, so if you have the extra card in your Vanguard zone, you can activate this. That's not too hard to activate. When your other units with grade less than this card is placed in the rear guard, this unit gets plus 3,000 attack until the end of the turn. So another unit with a grade less than this card is placed in the rear guard, so 1s or 0s. It gets plus 3,000 attack, and you need to have G Blast. It's 9,000 attack for a tier 2. Grade 2. This doesn't seem very good. He just gains attack. And only when you place 1 grades.
Yeah, all he does is get attack. Unfortunately, you are incorrect. He gets a load of attack because it's not once per turn. If you call like 3 units at once.
I wasn't even
you'll
thinking
get
about
one.
how you could combo to get high attack.
Yeah, so
I just
you
thought,
pair this
there's
card.
only like 3 other zones you could put in, and that's not too much.
Yeah, basically, you'd pair this card with Laurel, which is a deck that just summons a shitload of grade 1s and use them as fodder. And then you'd also use it with the extra deck Morfessa, which basically gave him a crit and the like a floodgate on what your opponent can guard with.
Yeah.
And basically, he's like free damage. This card hits for stupidly high numbers, like in like the 50,000s.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking like playing normally. It's like, oh yeah, combos exist. Okay, that was a big mistake on my part. Yeah, Grenmaju, but different.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, next up, we have Forgetful Gear Fox. Forthoughtful Gear Fox. Oh, that's way different from what I said. Let's see, auto, rear guard, or vanguard. When this unit attacks until the end of the battle, your opponent cannot call grade 0 cards from the hand to the G zone.
And remember, grade zeros have the highest amount of shields, like in 10s, 15,000s.
Oh. So that seems pretty good. However, it's just a grade 1, so it's only going to be useful in like the early game. Is there like some... Well, I'm not going to ask you that. What I'm going to... I'll give you my consensus first. So, this doesn't seem very good on its own because it's protection on a low grade monster. However, if you can combo this, it probably has lots of potential because it allows you to shut down your opponent's shields. So I'm going to say this card is probably Okay, not very good.
This card, people have been trying to make this card good for a long time. It just doesn't work out because the amount of effort you have to do to give him enough power to make the guard restrict worth it, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card is not good. We've tried to make it good, but it just isn't it.
Next up, we have Turmoil, Starvator, Zinc, Link Joker. Activatable on the rear guard. Put this unit into your soul. Wait, what?
So this goes from rear guard circle into soul, so it's a neg one.
If you have a Vanguard with Chaos in its card name, and your opponent has a locked card, something I don't know about, what does that mean?
That unflips 2 face down damage.
From yours?
Yeah, yours. So
Isn't that really good?
If you've paid for 2 Catabasts worth of cost, this card refreshes them.
And then all you do is detach 2, and it also attaches itself.
This soul charges 2.
It adds?
Yes, 2 from the top of your deck to your soul.
That seems really good. What's the catch to this? If you have a Vanguard with Chaos in its card name and your opponent has a locked card, what's a locked card?
Locked cards are like the face down cards. They're like the whole mechanic of Link Joker is turning your opponent's face down into making their zones worthless.
Oh, okay. So I guess you would combo it with that. And then it just recurs resources like crazy. This seems really good.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's not only good, it's banned.
Yeah.
I will say, it's one of the least powerful banned cards. I'm pretty sure the reason they banned it is because if they didn't, Chaos would have just been the best deck after they nuked the format. I'm pretty sure it was a preemptive measure, but yeah, this card's still fucking crazy. The fact that you could play it at 4 and you just never ran out of resources. It was basically like Eldritch, where you couldn't outgrind them. You had to kill them quickly.
Oh. Okay, so that's the end of this video. In the actual stream, I go over about 30 cards. So if you want to see more of that, just click on the video, which will be on screen. Also, if you want to suggest other card games or submit cards when I do pick one, make sure to follow my Twitter. The link will be down in the video description, along with my new Twitch channel, which will have other streams similar to this.